are here again. La 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 la. Hello, darling. Yep, that's right. It's little old me, the people's choice, Elvira, candidate of the dark. Yes, I have decided to throw my ring into the hat. On account of that's what us politicians do. So, anyway, you see this ring? You see this hat? Here goes. Bullseye. And that makes it official. Now I am really in the running. I only wish I knew what I was running for. Somebody here on the crew suggested that I run for baseball commissioner on account of my fondness for sports. The sports I'm really fond of are the ones who spring for an expensive dinner and that good champagne. Whenever I hear Mum's Extra Dry, I say, hey, what about Elvira? She could use a drink her own darn self. But let's get back to the issues. The show, as you know, is Movie Macabre, and the movie we're threading up for you this week, if you haven't already figured it out, has a political theme to it. It's called The Werewolf of Washington. And it's all about this werewolf that just goes around terrorizing Washington, as in D.C. UC? Well, you will just as soon as we get these messages from the advertisers out of the way. It's the Werewolf of Washington, coming right up here on Movie Macabre.
I tell you again, no one has been reported missing, no corpse has been found. If you continue to make a nuisance of yourself, I shall have you locked up.
That was your son that I killed, wasn't it? Nah.
So long, Captain Tidy, and may you always sail on clear blue waters. Gee, pulling somebody's chain is one thing, but flushing one down their toilet, that is another story. It's the quickest way I know to screw up the plumbing. And what an ingrate that guy Jack is. Or if you prefer the Hungarian, what an ingrate that guy Chak is. The old gypsy gal who should have been plenty teed off was willing to forgive and forget. Especially forget, like her lines. Willing to forgive and forget. She even gave Chak that swell pendant as a small memento of his visit to the old country. Okay, maybe the clasp on that chain was broken and the only way to get that sucker around his neck was by pulling it down over those floppy ears of his. But how often do you have to take something like that off? And you know what they say about it being the thought that counts? Was a broken clasp any reason to flush that thing down the toilet? Was it? Was it?
I think your father's a cross between Abraham Lincoln and Jesus Christ.
That he actually prefers some of the Russian communists against the liberal colonists in this country.
Mrs. Captree was just found dead. Guts ripped open.
Don't take the shopping cart! You'll kill yourself! Girls, I tell you, that is one thing you never want to do. When they run out of booze at a party, you don't go staggering through some crummy neighborhood looking for an open liquor store. I mean, just call it a night, pack it in, hail yourself a cab and head on home. That's the smart thing to do, and who knows, maybe you'll even get lucky. Sometimes those cabbies keep a bottle or two stashed in the trunk. Hey, I just realized that if I'm going to be a candidate, I've got to get cracking and dream up some campaign promises. Well, that's going to keep me busy for the rest of the night. And lucky you, you've got the movie and the commercials. Boy, I tell you, it just makes my day when some guy comes along and kisses my hand. It's so continental. Why, where'd this come from? What's happening to me? First I found this living throw rug on the roof of my Macabre mobile, and now my hand is turning weird. Oh, wow!
Well, look at this.
guilt feelings for having murderous wishes towards these women for Oedipal reasons, for both of which you want to be punished.
Will you look at this? I saw this in the palm of each of my victims.
Jack, I want to help you.
Well, then lock me up.
Come over to the hospital tomorrow and we'll talk about it.
But someone's gonna die tonight!
Will you two faggots shut up? Jack, I cannot help you unless you really want me to help you. Now remember what I told you.
Bathroom humor. Cheap bathroom humor. And for once, it ain't my doing. First, they took us into the executive, John, to watch the president taking matters into his own hands. Like fixing the broken door to the stall. And that meatball of an astronaut. I mean, how much tang did he have to drink on that last moon mission? Take it to the moon, but don't bring it back with you. And Jack, that poor devil Jack, he thought that if he held a pair of shoes up to his head, he could pass himself off as a Democrat. Then he wanted that slightly deaf naval psychiatrist to accompany him to the men's room of the restaurant. It isn't manly, Jack. It just isn't manly. Did I say slightly deaf?
What? What?
What's politics got to do with this?
What does the Pentagon have to do with it?
The pentagram! Gentlemen, the five-pointed star!
What? What? What?
I would like to make one thing perfectly clear.
Way to go there, Mr. President. Way to duck them questions. That's something us politicians learn how to do. Duck. Hey, how's this for a campaign promise? My friends and fellow Americans, if elected, I promise to never run another turkey like this werewolf of Washington. And that's a promise, my friends. That is a promise. Oh, if you noticed, I said that with my fingers crossed behind my back like this, see? That's something else us politicians learn how to do. And speaking of things you learn to do, who taught Jack how to pick up women? Goes around picking up women in telephone booths. Actually, picks up the whole darn telephone booth. Now that is manly, Jack. That's manly. It's more of the movie right after this.
What is your name? What? What is your name? Tell me your name.
Yeah, he's really real. Real strange. And Jack, you gotta quit licking that midget's face. I mean, maybe it's manly, but it ain't very sanitary. And you know what your mother said about that? It'll grow hair on your hands. Meanwhile, back in the war room, the president of these here United States is worried about the lunatic right. What he ought to be worried about is the lunatic who's sitting on his left, Jack. The president's attitude is, ignore him and he'll go away. Come to think of it, he's right. Jack did go away. Well, maybe I've underestimated this man of the people. Maybe. Okay, it's more thrills, spills, and chills, and trips down bowling lane when the Werewolf of Washington comes up, howling back after these...
Bullets won't stop it. Maybe we can get it with a tank or a flamethrower.
I don't want him destroyed under any circumstances.
Oh, Captain Salmon, would you turn on the television for me? I'd like to watch the president's address tonight.
Hit me with it. On the head. Kill me. I'm just a violent beast, and I'm better off dead. I'm better off dead.
Jack!
I'm better off dead. Kill me, will you?
Pull yourself together, Jack!
Hey, could one of you guys get the phone? I'm sort of all tied up right now. No, forget it. It's probably the only crazy old breather calling in with his Wolfman Jack impersonation. Oh, I am just a violent beast. Do me a favor, darling. See that cane over there by the TV? Yeah, the one with the silver handle on it? No, the silver handle's on the cane, not on the TV set. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, pick it up and smash the set. Go ahead, do it! Do it! I've always been good to you, haven't I? It's the least you can do for me. Please, please. Ah! Thank you.
Now, Mr. Former Prime Minister, sir, we will introduce you to the nation. You'll get the people, and then that'll raise a certain amount of speculation, Mr. Prime Minister. You understand, Mr. Prime Minister?
I don't understand at all.
Then I come on, and then I'll announce
I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this. Hey, this is not the thing I want. I don't want him here. Let's talk about this first. I don't want to see him here.
Mr. Prime Minister, would you please pay attention here just a moment?
Jack, will you pay attention too? Is this a joke? Or is it war?
Oh, no.
这不能这样讲，玩笑的事情。
我先吃上你。
我懂得 understand what you said,
Jack.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
Jack.
No, Jack. This is hijack. Hijack.
吃上你 You'll go before the nation.
No more 介绍 No more 介绍 I go. 你不要胡说八道，你不要乱来开玩笑啊。
Try to pay some attention over here. Mr. Prime Minister, after we announce you...
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I am not a werewolf. I ain't much of a politician either. I am stuck for campaign promises. And everybody knows that in order to be a good politician, you gotta have campaign promises. I mean, what if you get elected? You gotta have campaign promises to break. And I thought politics was my life. Maybe I ought to just stick to movie hosting. I mean, who ever heard of an actor in the White House anyhow? Well, back to the movie right after these messages. Boy, what a finish! What a finish! What a stupid finish! I, for one, I have had it with politics. Oh, I am like removing my ring from the hat. That's right. You won't have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, to kick around no more. Well, okay. Maybe you'll be doing a little kicking next week when you tune in and discover what we're running for a movie.
All right. I'm convinced.
Hope to see you then, and until then, keep on dreaming those unpleasant dreams.